Hello, my name is Juan. Today I want to tell you about the conversation between the man and the woman. Listen to me. Number one, the woman said to the man she had just spoken with Atil the other day, and she had told her about car's accident at work. The man agreed with the woman, and he said he really hurted his back, and he commented that he was in bed then. And he said doctors had told him that not to move unless absolutely necessary. The woman agreed with the man, and she said the floor had been pretty wet, and she commented that the mess had been cleaned up right after they took Carl to the hospital. The man agreed with the woman. Number two, the man complained to the woman about a lot of words in that report were misspelled, and he wanted to know if the woman ran it through a spell check program before she gave it to him to prove. The woman apologized the man for that, and she said she would spell check it real quick and reprint it. After that, she would gave him a clean copy to look over. The man thanks the woman for that, and he suggested the woman trying to pay a little more attention to details. The woman agreed with the man. Number three, the woman thanked the man for volunteering to take her to the train station the day after, and she said she would like to get there around noon, and she wanted to know if that's okay. The man agreed with the woman. However, he said that was a whole hour before her train leaves. And he wanted to know if the woman sure about it. The woman agreed with the man because he had to grab a quick lunch there, and she suggested the man join her. The man agreed with the woman. Number four, the woman said to the man that her boss had told her that if she wanted to be promoted, she had to go to the local college and take some classes first. The man replied to the woman it was an exciting opportunity, and he wanted to know if when the woman think about it. The woman replied to the man, it seemed like such a big investment of time and money. The man disagreed with the woman because it was worth her effort. Number five, the man said to the woman he needed to leave at 2:30 that day, and she wanted to know if that's alright. The woman agreed with the man, and she wanted to know if that day was the day the man was putting his house up for sale. The man agreed with the woman, and he said he had to sign all the paper that afternoon with the real estate agent. The woman said goodbye to the man. Number six, the woman said to the man she had the old tires she would like to get rid of, and she wanted to know if the man take it if she put it out with her tracks. The man apologized the woman for that because they were limited to household refills, and he suggested the woman taking that to the dump herself. The woman said to the man she would take it to the tire store and pay them a little, so she thought they would dispose of it for her. The man agreed with the woman. Number seven, the woman wanted to know if the man saw the fire in the case yards the Friday before. The man agreed with the woman, and he said the landscapers had been burning brush they had removed from the side lot. The woman replied to the man she didn't think they had the proper permit, and she commented that they fortunate because the police didn't cite them for illegal burning. The man agreed with the woman. Number 7. The woman said to the man she had been buying. The woman said to the man she had been buying as much of her company stocks as she could afford, because she thought it was inexpensive then. However, it had a bright future. The man replied to the woman he had heard that her chief financial officer had been fired, and he commented that the board directors was looking for someone who can position the company to be sold. The woman surprised by that because she hadn't known that. Um, However, he thought he would better forget about investing for the time being and worry about her job instead. The man agreed with the woman. Number 8. The man said to the woman he needed some self-help finances. The woman suggested the man talking with her financial consultant because she really know his business. The man agreed with the woman, and he said he had been going to read some self-help books and did it himself. However, he thought he could really use some self-help, some hands-on advice. The woman agreed with the man. Number 10. The man said to the woman, those carnations were very nice. However, he was looking for a bouquet of pink roses. The woman replied to the man, roses were kept in the cooler in bag, and she commented that they had a lot of pink ones, and she wanted to know how many the man liked. The man replied to the woman, a dozen, and he commented that were for his wife. The woman said to the man that he was kind